News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Rix. And that's your closing bell on Wall Street, with stocks ending mixed today thanks to a renewed wave of tech volatility. The Dow added 72 points, up about 0.1%. The Nasdaq lost close to 0.5 percentage point, down 118 points. The S&P closed flat. The 10-year Treasury yields at 4.39%. The 2-year yields at 4.1%. And oil is up more than 2% now, with Brent crude trading just over $75 a barrel, thanks to new attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. Senior U.S. officials confirm Iran attacked a Singapore-flagged cargo ship off the coast of Oman this afternoon, essentially testing its ceasefire with the U.S., which requires Iran to ensure the safe passage of commercial vessels in return for the U.S. lifting its blockade. Earlier today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Persian Gulf allies in Bahrain to address concerns about the war, including the vital waterway, which he says will remain toll-free.
How would that work? It's not doable, because what's the consequence for not paying? Let's say a ship says, well, I'm not going to pay the fee. It's not like a toll on a road. You don't get a ticket in the mail. They get shot at. You shoot at one ship, you sink one ship, no other ship is going to move. So that sort of system is not only unwise, it can't happen, it's not even workable. So you might as well abandon the fantasy now.
Pakistani officials say initial peace talks are complete, but further talks are set to take place in Switzerland next week. Now, Rubio also mentioned rescue efforts in Venezuela today following 2 major earthquakes, and says American teams from L.A. and Virginia are on their way to help. Tomaso de la Longa is with the International Federation of the Red Cross and says they're looking for potential survivors who may be trapped under debris.
A lot of people who lost everything. Even the Red Cross headquarters in Caracas has been affected. We have colleagues, we're talking a couple of hours ago with them, who lost their homes. Their families don't have any more a home. They're themselves affected.
At least 188 people died in those earthquakes. Nearly 1,000 were injured. In Washington today, the U.S. Supreme Court handed down some major decisions, including a couple big rulings on immigration cases. The conservative majority rejected arguments of immigrant rights groups, allowing the Trump administration to block asylum seekers along the southern border. It also ended legal protections for Haitians and Syrians. A record day for Micron Technology today, with shares of the memory chip maker jumping 16% following its blockbuster forecast, projecting $50 billion in revenue. That's nearly $7 billion more than Wall Street forecast. Jake Silverman has been following Micron all day. He's a semiconductors analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence.
Micron blowing out numbers is becoming less and less of a surprise and a little bit more of the expectation. Certainly, it was a little bit stronger than the street expected, given the reaction, although I don't think that's the whole story.
Jake Silverman with Bloomberg Intelligence there. He says Micron's CEO doesn't see a line of sight for supply catching up with demand through next year. Qualcomm was also up 3.7% today. The chipmaker forecasts annual sales of more than $15 billion over the next 3 years from AI components in data centers. But Apple stock tanked 6.1%, the most in more than 14 months today, after raising prices on products including Macs and iPads. J.P. Morgan Chase has named Troy Rohrbaugh and Doug Petno as co-presidents following the abrupt departure of consumer banking chief Marianne Lake, which marks yet another twist in the race to succeed CEO Jamie Dimon. Bloomberg's Catherine Doherty reports.
The comments today from Dimon himself, he's saying that it marks an important step in the board's thoughtful process around succession planning. I don't know if I'm reading into that further than I need to, but it is supposed to be, I think, another signal of where things could go, the future of the biggest U.S. bank.
That's Bloomberg's Catherine Doherty on Bloomberg Open Interest. Dimon's eventual replacement has become one of Wall Street's favorite parlor games in the last decade. He's led J.P. Morgan since 2006. The U.S. is back in action at the World Cup tonight against Turkey. The match is until 10 p.m. Eastern, but plenty of soccer to watch before then, with Curacao now taking on the Ivory Coast and Ecuador's match against Germany now getting underway. Japan also plays Sweden tonight. Tunisia battles the Netherlands, and Paraguay will take on Australia. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Rix, and this is Bloomberg.